you are Roblox enthusiast back in 2018, chances are you probably played Flood Escape 2. Flood Escape 2, well, as the name says, is a game about escaping flood by going through the different types of obstacles there are throughout various different maps. This game was pretty famous back in the day, and it was very addictive and fun. However, throughout the years, the game started dying out because of the lack of updates, being only just new maps, and its repetitiveness made almost no content possible out of the game. The game ended up pretty much dying around the mid to late 2020, and so not much has happened since then. Until now, because I decided to come back to this game and see what it became throughout those years. And let's just say things were very interesting. Also, yeah, I know it's been 3 months since I've uploaded, but like, who cares? Anyways, here's my experience on the 2024 Flood Escape 2. Starting us off, we have all the new things this game has. First, we got a new lobby, new wall jump textures, sliding and zip lines, floating system, new lighting, a boost intensity button, new game modes, new physics change, events, highlighted maps, daily challenges as well as daily rewards, obviously new buddies, skins, ores, and tanks, new UI, a speedrun timer, a new difficulty, a bunch of new OSTs, and obviously new maps. 6 of them are crazy maps. And in this video, I'm going to look at all of these features because what else am I supposed to look at? I'm also going to give a quick rating on what I think about these features, and I'm obviously not going to go through all of the things I listed. I'm just going to cover the main things, so yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with the sliding and zip lines mechanic. These two things came in the agility update, as well as the new wall jump texture, which I honestly gotta say, it looks better than the old one. This update mainly introduced to add more action into the maps, and it was done very well. Starting off with the sliding mechanic, it was done very well and it is very cool to do. It also gave birth to air dive, which consists of pressing the slide button mid-air, allowing you to do this. And it's fairly helpful on the hard maps if you want to recorrect yourself. Onto the zip lines, they're mostly used to showcase a part of the map and let the players see a bit more of the scenery and the view instead of giving some mindless platforms to jump on. Some players even do some cool cinematic with it. It is also used as some sort of short break since you don't do anything when you're in the zip line, to just kind of get the stress away and get some relief. Overall, here's my rating of this update slash feature. For all the OGs out there, you probably remember the Insane Lock. It was basically a button that allowed the players for 10 gems to lock the difficulty to Insane, the hardest difficulty at the time, for 4 rounds straight. When the crazy difficulty was added, it was then changed to Pro Lock, and now we know it as the Boost Intensity button. What it essentially does is it basically boosts the difficulty or intensity in general of the maps that we are going to get next round. Seems like a pretty simple mechanism that you probably wouldn't like since it takes away the instant crazy difficulty boost, but honestly, I ain't mad about it. In fact, no one is mad about it. Since we've been getting harder and harder maps being added to the game, it's logical to take away that prologue and replace it with something else, as it allows players to try out various different maps from various different difficulty. And using the button also allows you to try harder maps at the same time. I feel like this is the type of thing that looks bad when explained, but actually, no one minds, and therefore I'm going to give this singular button an 8.5 out of 10. Next up we got highlighted maps. Highlighted maps are maps that get temporarily added in the game for a month each month. This is probably one of the best features in the game, as it allows first, players to have their maps a chance to be in the game temporarily, and second, give the players more content monthly. There's a total of 6 highlighted maps getting added in the game each month, one of each difficulty, and they usually use a very modernistic design filled with very creative mechanics. This allows the games to not completely die out, and adding a new permanent map is very boring. And plus, each one of them comes with their own OST, except CMA, cause yeah. This is a no-brainer, this update is a 10 out of 10. Time to go on something a little bit more chill. The game modes. Game modes are basically different types of server there is. We got the Pro server, which we all know, just the requirements a little different. Chaos servers, which instead of 20 players, we got 50 players. Retro server, which is 2018 Floodscape 2. And chill servers, which is basically easy mode as you can't die. Now the retro mode might intrigue you as a lot of people want the OG Floodscape 2 back, but realistically, I went to one of these servers and there was only one person playing. Plus, there are other games with more players that bring back the old Floodscape 2. As for the arcade modes, they don't use as much other than pro servers, and honestly, I never use them, so yeah, here are my ratings. This is another pretty cool feature as it gives more stuff to do. Basically, events have like a 20% chance to occur in a map. There are 5 events in total that can happen when playing a map. The first one is the fog event. It basically covers the entire map leading to less visibility. Pretty simple. Next up is the random groups button event, which means that all of the buttons are turned into group buttons, basically needing multiple players to press a button. Then we have the exploding button event, which means that every button explodes, so if you get too close to a button, you might, well, die. Up next is the rescue escapee event, which spawns an escapee, and you have to rescue it and finish the map with him so that you can get some gems. It's not obliged to do it, by the way. And finally, the most crucial one, mirrored maps event, which basically flips the entire map, meaning all of your muscle memory that you built on this map is gone. Overall, it's a fairly nice update, but also a pretty small feature that can be fun, but also, well, cruel. Now it's time to move on to the permanent maps. I decided to cover the hard to crazy maps as I honestly don't remember all the new easy and normal, but who cares. I'll be giving just my quick opinion about the map and if it was worth the permanency, if that's a word. Starting off with Sunken Citadel. Sunken Citadel is a solid map created right after the fall of Floodscape 2. Most players find this map as being the best hard map in the game, and honestly, I agree. The map doesn't have some insane design or anything, but it's such a fun map to play and never gets repetitive in any way. It's also accompanied by a very solid OST. Next up we got Poisonous Forest. Poisonous Forest is part of the Poisonous series, if that makes sense. It's a fairly solid map that fits well into the game. I really like the atmosphere of the map. The OST and the gameplay are also pretty good, but nothing that insane. Up next is Fallen Classic. Together as the worst hard map, even the worst map in the game. Reason, its low effort gameplay of just jumping on platform as well as design make this map unfun. Heck, even the OST was effortless. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a reverse version of another OST, but yeah, this map deserves to be at the bottom of the list. Next is Relic Valley. Probably one of the most forgotten maps in the game. There's literally nothing to say about this map, it's just there, I guess. Finally, we got Toxic Woods, which is basically Poisonous Forest if it was green. Honestly, I'm basically gonna say the same things I said to Poisonous Forest because of how it resembled their gameplay, design, and OST are. So yeah, I guess that's it. Moving on to Insane Difficulty. There's a total of 2 new permanent maps in the Insane category, and honestly, I gotta say that the Insane Difficulty kinda glowed out, mainly because of their crazy maps. Anyway, at first is Fallen. Yep, again, this time it's just harder. Okay, I'm not gonna roast this map like I did on the other Fallen, but why the heck is there 2 Fallen like one isn't enough? This map actually has some effort put into it, especially on the gameplay side, because instead of just gray grass platforms, you got pillars of grass, wood planks, trees, and crystals. Cool, I guess. Totomi Springs is the second Insane map, and it's probably the best permanent Insane map. This map is fire and legit every part, whether it's in the OST, the design, and the gameplay. Everything is good about the map, especially the atmosphere and gameplay. Only flaws that the buttons usually require you to go off track, which is okay, but it does it a little too much, meaning that all the players that don't go for the button have to do a little bit of waiting. Nonetheless, this map is peak. On to the crazy maps being the hardest maps in the game and very challenging. Starting with Poisonous Chasm being the 3rd and final map of the Poisonous series, and the easiest crazy map in the game. It's a really fun map with very nice design and atmosphere, and it has a very good OST to go with it. Overall, a very solid map. Snowy Stronghold is the 2nd easiest crazy maps in terms of the Floodscape 2 ratings, and it's a pretty favorited map. The best part about this map is obviously its design and its creativity. The OST fits this map perfectly, but the only thing I'm concerned about is the fact that I still haven't beaten this map even after beating the King Silo, mostly because of the stupid tower port that is responsible for 90% of my death. Not to Ignis Peak, probably the worst crazy map, but in a good way, because all the crazy maps are good. Its main flaws are probably its OST, but the only reason why people complain about it is because it just doesn't go as hard as the other OSTs, even it was probably intended for the map state. And its creativity, because half of the time you just go up a rocky road, which is kind of boring. It's a pretty decent map, but it's just kind of inferior to all the crazy maps out there. Now, Sandstorm Ruins, on the other hand, is a fan favorite. The map's creativity as well as its gameplay and atmosphere really makes this map so loved. The OST doesn't go as hard, but the rest of the criteria managed to save it, which is something that Ignis Peak couldn't do, which is kind of unfortunate, not gonna lie. Very good map and probably the best crazy map out there. The King Silo is next, mostly known as the meme map. Why? Well, that's the original map, and that's what the community turned into. See a difference? Anyways, jokes aside, this map has probably the best atmosphere out of all permanent maps, and honestly, one of the best OST. Most people find this map super boring, mostly because it gets repetitive over time, and even though I can't relate, since I only beat this map once, it's an extremely good map, plus it uses the metal pipe sound effect. Like, come on man, how could you not like that? The hardest crazy map is Active Volcanic Mines. Sounds pretty intimidating, huh? Well, because it is. Seriously, this map is probably my favorite crazy map with probably the best OST, and the insane atmosphere and design makes this so enthusiastic and intense. Same thing can be said for the gameplay, as it is an extremely fun map to play through, and beating it makes you feel like you just conquered an extreme demon or something. Best crazy map, just saying. Now we only got one permanent crazy plus map, which is Rustic Jungle, which doesn't sound as intimidating as Active Volcanic Mines. I know, right? Now I haven't beaten this map yet, but honestly it's a pretty normal map with some okay gameplay, an okay atmosphere, an okay OST, and that's about it. Yes, because people will call this map Undertale have a serious problem. Would have been better if some highlighted crazy plus could be added as permanents, since there are some very wholesome ones like Central Master Ray, Abandoned Junkyard, and Sub-Zero Sphere, because Rustic Jungle is a very generic map, not much is going on with it. Something I haven't talked about, and what probably changed the most in this game, is the player's skill level. I mean, back in the day, we would be stuck at normal maps or easy maps and maximum hard maps, and the only way to access insane ones was by using the insane lock. But now reaching insane map is easy. And you're also telling that girls are also good at obby, which is like insane, dude. I don't know how this game managed to have that level of skill set in 4 years, thinking it would just stay the same, but now pro servers are legit useless and are literally only used to play Crazy Plus. Conclusion, this game, unlike other, managed to add a bunch of W features, and still didn't get its popularity back. Honestly, I feel like Flood Escape 2 deserves more in terms of being from the obby genre, and it basically regained its charm and fun and addictiveness. However, the only thing that they didn't manage to get back is its players. I now play this game literally daily, and pretty much the main game I play in Roblox because of how fun it is. All I gotta say is that if you've been playing this game back in 2018, or any earlier, just come back to it, it's so worth it. You'll have that fun and addictiveness back. Anyways, that's basically it. I'll see you next time.